and welcome to another Rosie Your Realtor show. Today we have a very special guest, maybe even one of my husband's best friends. Today we have Chris Rush with Best Buy. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
Good, good. So, Chris, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been in Clarksville for about 25 years. I've been with Best Buy for about 15, and I work in the design space of Best Buy. So I do custom everything. So custom shades, custom theater rooms, custom kitchens. That's my expertise.
Yeah, you're that one that can take a guy's dream and take it to another level, right? Or make it happen, I
Absolutely.
should say.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Well, Chris, I am like so excited to have you on here because as long as I've been alive, I think I've known what Best Buy is, but I never knew that something like what you do existed. And certainly, my husband has utilized you and your services a whole lot.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
That's why I say you might be his best friend because he's like, oh, I gotta check with Chris. I'm like,
Sure. 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 Sure.
um, yeah, tell me a little, get a little bit more depth on whether it's services we're using or why someone would come to you versus going online.
Absolutely. So there's a huge changing market in 2023 at this point, and it's just gonna continue to go that way. Is that a lot of people find online shopping more convenient, and I totally am that person too. I find that the vast majority of what I can do nowadays I can do online, whether it's ordering food or ordering groceries or picking up small things. But unfortunately, there are just some things that you need to have a secondary hand on it to make sure that you're doing it right. If you're doing appliances, make sure measurings are done right. Make sure lines are moved to where they need to go. All that pre-work that needs to go into. If somebody's building a home and they're pre-wiring their home, you need to know those things ahead of time because what you don't want to have happen is that you buy the wrong thing. And I think we've all been guilty of that, where you buy clothes
Yes.
online that don't fit, or you buy something that you thought would work, but then you realize like, oh, I forgot to buy those three other things because you didn't have that person that could tell you those things ahead of time. So that's really what my job is that I think of bigger picture stuff. So when you have an idea and I take that small little seedling and you go, okay, I want to put sound around my pool, for instance, I've got to figure out how do we get electrical out there? How do we run wires? How does networking work? How to make sure that you can use your music library to integrate with it. So that's my job, is to customize and design kind of your vision and turn it into a reality. And obviously, my service is completely free. It costs you absolutely nothing to use me. But that way, some peace of mind to make sure that you're making the right decision on what you're buying. You get a more accurate idea on scope and budget, and hopefully, if I do my job correctly, you're happier with the final solution. So.
Oh, absolutely. And I know Scott and I too, right? Electronics, I think, is more a guy thing. Definitely, Scott, we've been very thrilled. And it's funny you threw out the pool thing because I don't even know if we had thought about a sound system outside other
Mhm.
than maybe like those, portable little players. And quite honestly, I think to your point, my husband had done a little bit of research. We were going to pick certain TVs. We came in pick the TV. And how we even ended up talking to you, honestly, I don't even know, other than, of course, the lady said, you need to talk to this guy.
Sure.
Right. But I don't think we would have ever even thought of our sound system, if you may. And we were able to give you our vision. And what
Mhm.
our vision was is we're going to buy this here, this here, this here. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Actually, let's do this and bring it
Mhm.
all together. And I mean, my husband has been like a little kid in a candy shop with his whole Sonos setup. And those are, I think, the little things where you don't get that online, right?
No.
What's the best TV out there? But when you need a TV, a sound system, an Xbox, or whatever, you're that guy that really brings it all together and knows, like, I think our most recent challenge of getting the electrical to the new playroom. You can't have, I don't even know, the power that close to the internet. There's going to be an interference. Then people get frustrated. They want to save that extra buck going online, and then you run into these errors that having someone like you, and as you said, your services are free through the Best Buy program, which has been amazing.
Sure.
And I know that Scott's just, I can't talk enough of how much you're probably that one person that he absolutely adores that we've met here, because of what you've been able to do for his vision of this awesome house that he's doing. That
Absolutely. And I'm glad to help. I'm very glad to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add or share?
No, I mean, you honestly, that's really that I would say that's kind of why my job existed. I'd be honest with you. Best Buy has always been kind of those brick and mortar, traditional retailers. You walk into a store, you talk to an expert, and in theory, the person you talk to knows what they're talking about. They're in the right department, and they go, "Hey, this is what you need to do." But we've realized as a company, especially over the last couple of years, because this program rolled out about 3 years ago. That's when I started
Okay.
with this particular program. But before this, I was an installer, I was a sales manager. I mean, I've done every position you could think of. But this is where my passion's at. This is what I love doing. And yeah, but Best Buy sees that changing landscape where I was a part of the test market in Nashville that started this program, and that was 3 years ago. And it's nationwide now. It started as a seedling 3 years ago, and now it's grown exponentially just because they see the writing on the wall that that customized, personalized experience. And it doesn't have to be big projects. It doesn't have to be, a theater room or a custom kitchen or an outdoor pool audio. It could be something as simple as like, I want to do a couple security cameras on the outside of my house. But
Yeah.
having that tech friend, everybody's got that person they talk to and like, oh, you know what? That guy knows what he's talking about. Let me go ahead and bug him. He probably has some good answers for me and tell me what I need. And that's what I exist for. And in the process, you get the right expertise, you get better service that way. And hypothetically, we went through a crazy time with COVID and the pandemic, where a lot of stores were closed, and that kind of made
Yeah.
my job even more busier because I could give you that personalized experience, even in the home or over the phone or something like a virtual conversation that can give you that expertise, and those things can't be replaced. So I think we're always going to be in
Absolutely.
need of experts. So
Well, I'm glad you touched on a couple stores closing because actually where I came from, our Best Buy closed, right?
yes,
It just the business wasn't there, it closed. And I think that's why I feel an importance of kind of pushing you out there to the world, to
absolutely,
let them know that this exists. And it's not just walk into Best Buy, buy what you need, and when you can do it from the comfort of your home, because I now there's so much more that you do offer, right?
sure.
And bringing it all together. I just had a thought. Oh, like there was two things I wanted to touch on. The personalized service, the stores closing, getting you out there, and I forgot. And I forgot. But so yeah, it sounds real quick. You guys, pretty much anything that you guys sell, from computers to kitchen remodels. Obviously, we've had a couple. I mean, you're um with us, you've been able to help us with the pool, the in-house system. I love the security. I'm trying to remember what else I wanted to touch on. But and right now we're in the framing stages, and you were able to come in and work with our contractor to make sure that everything's going where it needs to be. Which obviously, when you're building, it's more affordable to do it that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you want to make sure it's done right. You don't want to miss those things because some things you can't go back and fix. Some things are stuck unless you want to rebuild the building. So
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. Coming from real estate, I've always told people when they're buying new, anything that's going in the walls, just tough it out, pay the cost with the builder, and do it. Anything aesthetic afterwards, just do it on your own later because it's a lot easier.
absolutely.
Well, awesome. Well, Chris, it has been such a pleasure having you on here. I do hope people reach out to you, especially if they don't know these services, whether they're doing a big job, little job, or just need some advice on, hey, what cameras to buy. And Chris, if somebody wanted to contact you direct, maybe they're building a house or wanting to do a remodel, what's the best way to get a hold of you personally?
Absolutely. So obviously it's 2023. So I'm all about any form of communication you can reach me at. My first number on there, that 615 number, that's my work cell. You can text me on that number. You can call me directly, or if you're more comfortable with the email process, you can use my email, which is christopher.rush@bestbuy.com. And keep in mind, I am based out of the Middle Tennessee area, so I service as high as Paducah and go as far south as Nashville. But I have clients in Texas and California and New York, all over the country. So just because you move or you're moving to a new location doesn't mean I still can't help you. So I still am that resource for a lot of clients. But obviously, a copy of me exists all over the country. So if you need a point of contact for me, and then you can talk to somebody in Minnesota or something like that, then I'm available for that as well. Don't hesitate.
Okay, awesome. Now, I'm assuming, Chris, if somebody wanted to order some stuff from you that's not here local, I'm sure you could advise them over the phone. They can kind of give you their vision. You can help bring it together, get things shipped to them. And then as long
Absolutely.
as there's a Best Buy then and a quick Geek Squad, you probably could get them support anywhere in the country.
I can, yes. Yeah, it's
Okay,
it's countrywide for sure. Absolutely.
awesome. I wanted to make sure people knew that because I know the Best Buy back where I came from closed, but if you're able to get people help out there, I'm
I
sure
can help
millions.
everybody in California. Absolutely. I would love that.
You said it. I'm just kidding. Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much for your time. I certainly appreciate you coming on here. and, you know, hope more people utilize you because you've, like I said, you've been amazing for us. Scott is beyond thrilled. And even if we ever move, I think he's pretty committed to you,
Yeah.
because of your
That's good to
knowledge and
know.
everything you've brought to him. So,
Well, I
so
appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
thank you. All right. Bye.